am.
Sharon Brubaker is a certified grief recovery specialist. She's got over 11 years of experience, and she's local. She's based right here in the Santa Cruz Valley. She's also the host of the Grief Recovery Hour most Wednesdays at 1, and she's also joining me in studio right now. What's happening, Sharon?
How amazing is that?
Yeah,
this
how
is
great.
so cool. I'm having so much fun.
I know. You know what? You're going to be featured at our Home and Garden Show, which is coming up this Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. at Central Park. It's a free event. Are you ready? Are you nervous? Have you done all your prep?
I've done most of my prep. I'm packing my car because I want to set up a really fun booth. And you know what? I'm kicking back, going easy, because I'm going in with one goal. And that's to meet as many Santa Clarita residents as I can and just say hi.
Just say hi.
Just kick back
But
easy.
You know what? You're affable. You're fun going. I can't imagine that you're not going to meet 10,000 people that are calling you up next week. It's nice to meet you. I always see you here at the station, but I'm socially inept outside of this studio. Once I get through these doors, it's like I'm a weirdo. I can't speak to anybody in a regular fashion.
You always seem like you're having fun and you're busy. And
Yes.
that's really important, especially when you're at your job. You got to seem really busy.
Oh, believe me, there's a lot of hobnobbing around the station. I have none of it. I get right to work,
Right.
and yeah. Thank you for saying that, by the way. I needed that.
You needed that.
But okay. So look, we've all lost loved ones.
Yes.
We've all been under incredible stress. We've had periods of transition in our life, whether it's one thing or the other. It's one thing to be the one grieving. It's another to professionally help these people. How do you learn? What kind of education do you go through to be able to handle people during their periods of stress?
So I studied at the Grief Recovery Institute, which used to be in Sherman Oaks, California, and they've closed a year ago this November. And a personal tragedy got me there. I lost my nephew, Austin Tyler. He was 10 years old, and he drowned in 2006 in Lake Havasu. And it was from that experience that I realized I didn't know anything about grief. And then I went on this research path to find as much as I could, and everything I was finding was either not helpful or just wrong information, and it was not helping us to feel any better. And so I stumbled upon this program, and when I finished the program, I knew I needed to help people. I knew there were going to be hearts that were just like mine.
What is it about this program? Is there a certain method? Is it a catch-all program, or is it kind of a unique experience with everyone going through their own process?
Everyone goes through their own process. I like the way you say that. It's kind of a catch-all because there's 43 known losses that we know a person can experience. Death and divorce are just the most popular, but there are 43. Pet loss, financial changes, retirement, becoming an empty nester, all of those included in that list. And so what we do is I'm a guide. I'm actually a guide, and I walk them through their own personal process of the grief and the loss. It's an 8-week educational program. It's actually, they'll have homework. There's a book. It's a whole program designed to help them to complete the relationship to the loss in their heart.
Is it a one-on-one between you and the other person? Do you do group therapies?
I do both. I absolutely do both, which is kind of cool. And I go back and forth. I love groups because I feel like we're all in this group and we're going through this together and we're all huggy. And, you have to be that person that wants a group. But then there's those moments, where my spouse walked out in the street, got hit by a car and died suddenly. And I really need one-on-one. And I need to be walked through this step by step and take a little bit of extra time. And so it all depends on the client and where they feel they fit in.
I know with me, I recently lost one of my grandparents, and it's difficult for me to feel things in front of other people. I bury it deep down. Is that kind of a common thing?
That's so common.
Really?
And it's very common in men because they feel they have to be strong, Aaron. And we can't really be strong. We can't get away from this. And so even just to have somebody come there and say, hey, this is what it feels like to grieve, and it's okay. And that's what it's okay. I think people think that, that moment where I go in my room and I cry, they think that's the grieving. And if I keep doing that, eventually that will stop happening and then the grief will be over. And that's not true. Yeah.
It's a collective experience. You have to, like you said, we're all going through it at once.
We're all going through it.
Now, when you're going through your own tumultuous times, do you have your own Sharon Brubaker? How do you handle it?
I do have my own Sharon Brubaker, and so I have quite a few Sharon Brubakers, and I called them up, and they helped me. And absolutely, 100%. Now that I've learned this process, I do the process on myself quite often, and there are quite a few things that I have grieved over my lifetime, not just the death, but just sometimes a feeling of being unhappy. Or I shared on my radio show a couple weeks ago, my granddaughter was born with a severe autism, and I've even grieved that because I don't know where that's going to take me. So there's so many things we can use it for. It's such an amazing process.
How do you release at the end of the day? I can imagine that while this occupation is professionally fulfilling, I can imagine that it weighs heavy on you emotionally. How do you kind of shed those people's, the weight of those people's problems at the end of the day?
You know what is really funny? And I don't have a need to do that. It's really strange. And actually, I took a class recently, and I was sitting next to a therapist, and she was like, "How do you handle this? What do you do to release?" And I said, "I don't really feel like I have a need." I worked with somebody recently, and they've just gone through my 8-week program, and I can see a difference in his face. I can see a difference in his face. And that reward, I can't even tell you. Think about it. When someone comes into my office and they can't even formulate one sentence, he couldn't even get out a word because he would start to cry. And now, last night, we were sitting, laughing, and talking. His life's changed forever. And yes, it is going to still be sad. He will be missing his wife, but wow, his face, the look and the joy and the change that it's going to bring to his own life for the future.
Wow. She's Sharon Brubaker, certified grief recovery specialist, based right here in Santa Clarita. She's going to be at the Home and Garden Show. Swing by her vendor table and say what up. Check in. You can reach out to her, 661-212-0720. That's 661-212-0720. Or go to SharonBrubaker.com. Sharon, thank you so much for coming in. I'll see you around the station first and foremost.
Come and see me. I'm going to have some surprises and a big, great drawing and some surprises at my booth.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. I'll swing by.
All right.
She's Sharon Brubaker. I'll see you around the station. I'll see you this weekend at the KHTS Home and Garden Show. Again, you got to go check it out this Saturday and Sunday, beginning at 10 a.m. It's a free event. It's free and open to the community, happening at Central Park. Go check it out this weekend. Sharon, again, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Aaron.
Appreciate it.